So, welcome everyone to the Trailer View Boys. My name is Alex.
And my name is Dimion.
And today we are, today we're doing Midway. We're going to be looking at Midway, the film, some of the historical stuff in there. We're just going to be taking a general look after doing the trailer critic, which we're both pretty looking forward to seeing.
I have to remember we gave that a pretty good. I think that was 4 stars. We gave that.
Yeah, I think the only start it was let down on was the use of music.
Music, yeah.
So
yeah, pretty good.
So we were pretty excited to go and see this one, guys, and we really enjoyed watching it. So let's get to it. So then, guys, here we go. So Midway. First of all, I'm going to ask you, bro, because I'm going to be digging through. My talking points are going to be a lot about the actual history of the film.
You've got a lot of knowledge on sort of history in general, way more than me, and a lot more interest.
Definitely.
I've got to be completely honest. What drew me to go into want to see this film was the trailer. So it did its job.
Oh, the trailer. No, the trailer was. I feel we rated the trailer correctly.
Yeah.
The action sequences in it, the use of CGI, incredible. I mean, and when you watch the film as well, Jesus, the detail in it is remarkable. Yeah. But yeah, the trailer really does get you pumping for it.
Oh, definitely. So for me, and I don't go out my way to watch too many war films. It's just not a generic interest.
It's not
for what I'm into.
Yeah, that's cool. Whereas I'm totally opposite. I love. Yeah.
So it did a really good job, the trailer, I have to say, to make me want to go and see it. And I don't know whether that's a credit to today's visual effects and what they can achieve, but I also have to say, having watched the film, although it's based on a true story, I really enjoyed the storyline they went with.
Yeah, the really. Pacing of it, and well, see, now this is the thing I wanted to pick up on, because it was so strange, guys. I mean, literally the day before we went to watch it, the way this come around was watching Midway. That we're actually one of our friends, Levi, wanted to go and watch It 2.
Yeah, It 2
in the cinema.
That's originally why we wanted to go to the cinema.
Yeah, but it turned out it was off the cinema, so it landed on Midway. But you know how group chats works, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a group chat's supposed to be about the topic, but it never is. So I didn't pay attention to it whatsoever. So it just turned out that it was only on the night when we rocked up. It was like, watching Midway. I was like, oh, sweet. I was like, I really want to watch that. Yeah. But but without knowing, I'd watched a documentary on Netflix, which I will shout out because it's a fantastic documentary on World War II biggest battles in colour. You should really watch it, guys. It's educational and it just blows your damn mind. But I happened to watch the episode that was based on Midway, the events that happened. So when they said it's Midway, I was like, shit, man, I've got all, because I watched it the night before. I was like, you know what? Just off what historically happened alone would make a great film. So I hope they haven't embellished too much and been too Hollywood.
And just for those that don't know, Midway is actually events that lead straight after Pearl Harbor. So obviously everyone's quite aware of Pearl Harbor, and there's been some famous cinematic films for Pearl Harbor generally. Yep. But this focuses on the events straight after.
Yes, to a certain degree. Yeah. It's not the first engagement in the Pacific Theatre straight after Pearl Harbor, but it's another one that's on the scale.
It's a really good
of Pearl Harbor. So basically, to break it down, just as a backstory, this film covers really well as a backstory. Pearl Harbor happens, and it's horrific. It's one of the most jaw-dropping historical battles out there. It certainly didn't come out of anywhere, but from the intelligence that was gathered, from the things that were happened, it really did. It rocked the American nation, and it still is one of those attacks. But after this, there was another engagement, because they only had 5 ships at this point. They had 4 carriers.
Is this the Americans?
Carriers, the Americans. After this attack, they only had 4 airships. Yeah. And 1 battleship.
That surprises me because I don't know whether I'm naive to think this, but I just assume that they would have, like 30 or 40 battleships.
Well, they did. Oh, okay. But after Pearl Harbor, all they had that was still afloat was 4 aircraft carriers and a battleship.
That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And then one of them being the Yorktown. Now, the Yorktown suffers again when they're in an engagement with the Japanese. Sorry, no, it was 5 aircraft carriers, not 4. They suffer again where one of their aircraft carriers actually gets destroyed in a battle, and the Yorktown takes massive damage to the point where the Japanese forces are like done for. And when Midway come across, because it was so needed, somehow the crew, the brave men and women, well, brave men of the crews, managed to put the fires out and drag it back into port.
Yeah.
3 months worth of repairs, and they were ordered to have it done within 3 days because of how vital it was that they had that ship out in the ocean, so and it got done. But preceding this event, the film touches on that. Also touches on the actual battle itself, which historically is jaw-dropping. I mean, the sway of victory literally changed within 2 hours. It was a total Japanese victory. 2 hours later, it was a total American victory. That's how pinnacle this battle was. And
of Midway.
Yeah. The Battle of Midway, that's how pinnacle it was. And I've got to be honest with you, the film does it justice, man. It was so...
There's moments throughout the film where, you know, things are due to happen, which will mean the Americans have the outcome that they're looking for, and it doesn't, and you kind of are thinking, come on, you're rooting for, come on.
Oh yeah, you're truly like, without being over patriotic in the film.
Yeah.
Because you know some war films that can be truly like, we're the best and we always were and that's why we won.
Yeah.
There is none of that in this film. It is really through hard work. It shows it in the film. It shows that it was a group effort. It was hard work. It was determination. It was the bravery of these men.
Yeah.
And the film is just, it's just epic. So,
it portrays Remembrance Day in the best way possible, doesn't it?
And not only that, it was absolutely respectful to the Japanese as well. So this wasn't a war film where it painted the Japanese as being stupid or just bad for the sake of being bad. It was respectful in the way that they were the combatants at the time.
Yeah, it wasn't portrayed as the enemy in a really bad way. You just understood from their point of view what was going on for them.
Because by no means, historically, did the Battle of Midway. It wasn't just a total American victory because they were superior. Both sides, and the Japanese at the time as well, and again in the film he's shown to this, they had an advanced navy, man, advanced aircraft, and it shows this.
One thing I wanted to ask, in that era, was it for any nation that if you had the fleet on the sea, were you then known as like the biggest and the best, or was it if you had the best air force you were known as? What was the...
it was more of a political thing in the time. It was more of just sort of what you'd conquered politically and what your assets were.
Because you can imagine there must have been a point in history where if you had enough boats on the sea, you were known as the conqueror. Do we know where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the Japanese at the time, they had one of the most advanced naval fleets and air force.
Okay.
But politically speaking, they weren't really considered it much.
Yeah.
They were sort of like... I mean, let's be fair. We're talking about a time of ignorance between race and creed and religion.
Yeah,
and that politically again played the Japanese. They wanted to be recognised as a superpower, and just no other country really took them that way.
One thing I have to say about this film, actually, you do draw a connection pretty much to every character in the movie.
They were very good with that. The lead character,
you feel something for them all the time.
The lead character, Ed.
Who has the best...
Who play?
Okay. This is where we get a little bit comical. He has the best...
And this is a real person's name, by the way. He's portraying a real airman.
Yeah.
This isn't made up. Damien, do you want to tell me his... last name?
Best.
Would you like to tell me this character's full first name?
Dick.
Yep, you got it, guys. His name was Dick Best. Oh my God. Look, this film was fantastic, okay? But me, Levi, and Damien, every time that character spoke, we were just like...
There's a moment in the film where one of the characters actually says that this guy is the type of guy that this nation needs, or something along those lines.
We were just like, because if there's anything the nation needs, it's the best dick.
You must.
Man.
The directors, when they made this film, must have just thought that name's just going to get ripped. Well, it's a very serious film, serious topic, and the rest of it. But come on, we're at a point where you can at least laugh about this now. So a name, not what actually happened, but someone's name.
But it's just funny, man. It's just so funny. But no, seriously, guys, the tone of the film is it's I don't want to say it's serious as in the sense of it's intellectual. You really need to know a lot about Midway, the Battle of Midway, because truthfully, when we came out of it, it basically touches on the same points that that historical, because I'd watched that documentary did, but it did a really good job of portraying what it would have been like to be a soldier and to be an airman or a marine serving in World War II. It was incredible.
I left that cinema with a bucket of emotions, just to name a few. Very, very grateful, thankful, very emotional, very heartfelt for the the men and women that went through that time, and it does capture you in a way, and that's what I mean by the characters themselves. The directors who made this film did a fantastic job to actually connect you to a lot of the characters, because each character had its own journey in the film, really, don't they?
Yeah, and to summarise this, it's one of those. It's a great film to watch, and when you're an adult like myself and Damien, it is something you can appreciate when you watch it and be like Damien said, come out of that film with a great adoration for the people who were alive and who did the things that they did, and
because there's some moments in it you see, because you realise that this is based on true events, and some of the moments where the Air Force are actually diving down towards the Japanese boats to set off
to release the payload,
the sub-missiles and whatever else, and you see the visual effects where the bullets are flying past them and there's hundreds of bullets, and you think, now this isn't just made up, that's actually probably what it was like.
Oh, and absolutely,
it's mind-boggling to think that somebody had the
sheer brass balls
to just dive into
nose dive into anti-aircraft fire, flak fire, just mate, honestly, it's one of those, and the casting was such a solid choice. I mean, honest to God, from the females to the male casting, there wasn't any cast member on there. You'd got good old Woody in there.
Woody Harrelson. Patrick Wilson was a good character as well, who was the intelligence guy.
Intelligence officer, yes. And they portrayed, Damien, if you get him up, he plays the actual guy who's putting the intelligence together for him. He's wearing like slippers and his smoking jacket.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but that's, again, historically accurate. He was known for being a bit of off-the-wall character. And that's why his intelligence was sort of sometimes, questioned.
Yeah, Brandon Brown.
Brandon Brown, and again he
Brandon
plays
Brown. Brown sauce, red sauce. Yep. Brandon Brown.
But again, the actor, he plays him so well, because he doesn't go too off the wall where you're like, oh my God, like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
But he's enough. He's enough for the time that it was set in. An officer would have looked at him and gone, "Something right with you, is the mate? You're wearing a smoking jacket when you're on duty. What's going on?" And slippers, for Christ's sake.
But actually, it helps you understand that every soldier was important at that time.
It was a team effort.
Intelligence as well that brought into that. It does make it. Doesn't matter what part you took, you're important.
Every soldier's worst word, intelligence.
Yeah.
But no, it was the film. You come out of the film and, well, first of all, you felt a great depth of appreciation for the people that were involved, and that you were very entertained. It wasn't something that tried to pull on that emotional string too much, to say you should be grateful, you should always respect these people. It didn't pull that string too much.
Yeah,
it entertained as well.
There's not a moment where I was sort of thinking, oh, okay.
Unlike Pearl Harbor, a film which does make you sit there and go, "We're still on about this."
Yeah, it keeps you drawn all the way through.
Yeah, definitely. And again, the visual effects, like in the trailer we critiqued, were phenomenal.
You touched on something pretty well, because again, you accidentally stumbled across the documentary the day before with the sub missiles. 1 in 10 only
torpedoes.
working.
Yes,
torpedoes, sorry.
Yeah, the American airborne torpedoes that were attached to the aircraft. Only 1 in every 10 was noted to explode in testing, and they knew about this. Problem was when Pearl Harbor happened, and because it being such a devastating attack, and because their resources being as limited as they was, there wasn't anything else they could use.
Yeah.
At that time, at that point in that battle, at the Battle of Midway. So they had to rock with that, and they knew that was the case. But again, the bravery of the men, again, because you wasn't quite nosediving, but you were flying low, so i.e. directly ahead of you is anti-aircraft fire coming in at you, to drop these defective torpedoes, not knowing if they were going to explode.
What was good, we had a conversation before going into the cinema screen about what you'd seen and the facts from the actual...
And what I wanted to see in the film,
and it did stick to the truth.
Yeah, it did.
He even made a comment. Well, was it a comment more of a... it had a quick scene with that,
Oh, about the torpedoes.
Torpedo not working.
Yeah, yes, because there was a bit of a disagreement with the lead role. He was saying that the bombers was the best way to blow up the ships, and the torpedo squadron was saying, no, it's the torpedoes, and he sort of gets back at them like, well, they're defective, and he goes, hey, that's only a rumour, like, you know what I mean? That's not been proven. Whereas it turned out, that was the case.
And there's some things throughout the film, I think back on now, quite interesting to learn when they were taking off of the aircraft carriers, that if the boat wasn't actually going fast enough, they couldn't take off.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. Yeah, to create enough counter wind for the. Yeah, I also didn't know. I thought that was again a nice attention to detail there, because they, no rights, didn't have to put that line in. You know what I mean?
No.
By all rights.
What the hell is this rope or made out of that? Stops the planes when they land.
It's a metal wire that it has to hook onto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine the accuracy you have to get to land and catch that.
But again, that's how skilled these pilots were, man.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't just chuck anybody in these planes, man. You had to have brains and skill, and they really did. But again, the film doesn't go too heavy into the fact that you need to respect these.
Yeah,
men.
it doesn't throw it in your face to make you want to respect it. It just tells a nice story.
Yeah, but not only that, the story, because it sticks to the facts as well. Because it sticks to the real drama of what happened. There's no manufactured drama in it.
No.
Even the story arcs between some of the cast members, the characters, when they're not getting along with each other, it's not over dramatized. It's just that the feeling is that when you get hit, you want to hit somebody back. So that when after Pearl Harbor, the Americans they wanted to hit back.
Yeah.
And obviously at a command level, it's not as simple as just, well, let's set sail and go and attack the Japanese. It needed to be a coordinated and smart effort, but when you're a pilot that's trained to go out and just inflict as much damage as possible, their initial reaction, quite rightly, is just, I want to, let's go. So even the drama between it felt natural and normal, and it was just so well played out, man. I mean, I'm not a film critic by any means, like, this is just something we like to talk about, but sitting there, I could still appreciate that they didn't over dramatise this, and they didn't play it for more than it was worth.
Fully agreed. Yeah,
they just played it out naturally, man. It felt like that could have been any of us.
Well, like I say,
really
I'm not a particular person that will go and watch all of history war films, but that one for me was very interesting to watch, and it captured my attention all the way through.
To be honest with you, I feel like it's almost the way it was filmed as well. I mean, in itself, it was always going to be that because of the way it changed it. But Saving Private Ryan, have you ever seen that film?
Yeah.
That itself is almost, you know what I mean, such an accurate film. You never watch it and think, well, they've overplayed this sort. So when it came to...
Sorry, I'm just going to try and find the... So 2 hours 18 minutes Midway. That was a good...
You didn't feel it. Yeah, it didn't feel 2 hours, no. It felt like an hour and a half, but a solid, good hour and a half. Again, this is shot in that uber super realisticism.
Yeah.
Like Saving Private Ryan is. So at no point do you feel like it's a joke, but it has the touches of humour in there. I mean, again, because I'm like, I've got a mind of a 5-year-old. As soon as I knew his name was Best Dick, or Dick Best, sorry.
Dick Best.
because all I could think was like the James Bond thing where you introduce your last name first. So
Yeah.
all I could think is
The name's Dick.
the name's Dick. Best Dick. Like, you know what I mean? And I was just like, oh my god! Like, I would introduce myself as that every time I met somebody. But
nobody's naming their kids Dick these days, are they?
oh,
So-
dude, I don't care what anyone says because I know this is a real guy. When young Dick was born, or young Best, should I say, because obviously it's going to have this last. The child's going to have the last name. That parent, he knew not to call him Richard. He knew. Oh no, I'm going to name my son Dick Best. Yeah, because last name being Best, it's like Best, Dick. You know what I mean? Like, he knew exactly what he was doing when he did it, man. And I respect that straight up.
So, not that we are movie critics in any way, but I think it is fair to say that we would both give this a 5-star rating.
100%, yeah. For what we rate on our trailers, we sort of do with our films as well. So, you know, use of music, and again, the use of music, just because of it being set in the time that it's set, it couldn't really, really lean into anything contemporary. But the use of music in the film itself is good. It helps you emotionally know where you need to be.
Listen, it's a solid film, and like I said, we're not
So I would
official movie critics by any stretch of imagination, but again, you know, I think it's fair to say that with you being interested in that type of genre of movies and me not, we both come to the same conclusion of that it's such a good film and worth a watch.
No, it's definitely a 5-star film, and I would say definitely go to the cinema to watch it. For those of you that aren't into the cinema, all I can say is you've got to see the film. It's a great film.
Go for it.
Not just for the historical reasons or the fact that it's real people. It really is an entertaining film. It's just a good film. So for me, guys, I'd definitely recommend it's a date film, and I know it sounds a little mad, but it is a family film because it is historically accurate and it is something you should definitely tell your kids. But I'm not going to push too much on that one because I know how people get. So, but no, definitely, it's a highly recommended film. No matter what kind of person you are, what creed, colour, you name it, this film is an absolute must. You've got to go and see it, guys. 5-star rating. That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, listening, to tuning in. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Go and watch it. So, give us a follow and a subscribe. Sub. Not that we're desperate. No. Yeah, we'll pay you. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So give us a shout out, guys. See you on the next one.